Tree falling is only for people who know how to work safely and professionally and are able to cope with the physical and mental stresses of the job. Good tree fallers are thorough in their preparation and they never take shortcuts. They take pride in their approach and they know that other workers look up to them because of it. So how do you become known as a professional operator? Let's look at a checklist of the things you need to do in your day-to-day work. Always put safety first, and if you think that a particular tree looks dangerous or is beyond your level of competence, ask for help. Plan ahead and control the risks. Try to identify the hazards you're likely to come across and then take steps to control the risks. Work at a steady pace. Don't rush or take shortcuts. Concentrate at all times, and if you're starting to feel fatigued or losing your focus, take a break. Use sound, low-risk techniques while you're working. Take care of your equipment and keep it well maintained and in good working order. And look after the environment. Make sure you follow proper environmental care practices while you're working and when you're cleaning up at the end of the day. We've covered the details of safe chainsaw operation in the Chainsaw Basics module, but here's a brief summary of the personal protective equipment you'll need to wear and the support equipment you should carry with you while you're working. Starting at the top and working down, you need to wear a safety helmet or hard hat, face shield or visor, earmuffs, high visibility vest or jacket, gloves if the situation requires it, protective trousers, and steel-capped safety boots. The support equipment you need to take with you will include enough fuel and oil for the day's work, an axe, at least 2 wedges, hand tools for tensioning and sharpening the chain, a cant hook, depending on the sort of work you're doing, an approved first aid kit, a UHF radio or other communication system that suits the circumstances, and plenty of drinking water. You also need to make sure that warning signs are in place at all road entry points and anywhere else that's specified in the harvesting plan or site safety plan. We said earlier that professional operators are always very careful about planning ahead and controlling the risks while they're working. This process is called carrying out a risk assessment. The purpose of a risk assessment is to identify any hazards in the area, assess the risk of each hazard causing an accident or injury, and control the risk, either by removing the hazard or minimising its effect. Let's look at the main hazards you need to think about when you're doing a risk assessment. We'll start with the weather. Check the current weather and also the forecast for the day before you start work. Watch out for high winds, extreme temperatures, heavy rain and lightning. It's not safe to work under any of these conditions. The next set of hazards concern the tree's immediate surroundings. These include broken limbs, also called widowmakers or hangers, hanging in nearby branches, dead, burnt out or other hazardous trees nearby, steep banks, rocks or other obstacles in the line of your escape route, other workers or machines. Note that these should be at least 2 tree lengths away from the tree you're falling, and problems with visibility, such as failing light or fog. The final set of hazards relate to the tree itself. These will determine the way you prepare the fall, the cutting techniques you use, and in the end, your decision as to whether or not the tree is safe to fall. Remember, when you're working, it's your responsibility to decide whether you've got the ability to fall a tree safely. And this will depend on your level of experience, the accreditation you hold, and the types of problems that the tree is presenting you with. Here are some typical hazards you need to look out for when you're assessing the risks in the tree you're about to fall and your capacity to fall it. Dead or burnt out trunks, decayed or hollow trunks, widowmakers hanging in the tree's crown, or branches interlocked with adjoining trees, a natural lean that's excessive or away from the desired direction of the fall, hang-ups, that is, other trees that have fallen and lodged against the tree, storm or snow damage, exposed or unstable roots, thick undergrowth at the base that can't be cleared away, and climbing vines in contact with the tree.